Hello world and welcome to my channel AIBegins.net. Today we are going to talk about robotics. Well, this episode is kind of the first one in the series that I planned, in which we will tackle the very basic stuff to the more advanced ones. Let's now take a sneak peek to the robot we are going to build. Well, right here is the robot I call the RoachBot. Why is it called a RoachBot? Because of this. This guy hates light and tries to move away from it. Well, how desperate is he? The answer is a lot. Cool, right? Let's get into the build. Let's now take a look at the components we'll need for the RoachBot. So I've tried to include the components which are easy to find and are really cheap to get started with. Some of these things you may find that it is at your home already. Let's go through them one by one. For actuation or the actuator, you need a motor. Now this is a geared DC motor. You can supply the DC in and this motor rotates. Now due to a gearbox here, this is capable of giving good torque, so it can lift heavy weights. Now this is a caster wheel. This is an omnidirectional wheel which especially helps when your rover is rotating left or right. So this wheel sort of always comes with this kind of motor, but if you don't, you can get it in your hobby shops, or better, try it from some of the toys you have lying around. This sort of connects here, and then as the motor rotates, the wheel does too. You need two of these for our project. Two of the wheels and two of the motor. Now if you don't have a DC motor or you don't want to buy one, you can use something like this. So this is something I pried from a toy that was there, all broken, and this is a very small motor and it runs on I think 3-volt supply. So it's fairly easy to find. You need two of these and you can build your project. But remember, these are not as powerful as our DC geared motors, so you might want to reduce the weight of your build. You can also use motors like this. So this is something that's usually found in DVD players, old ones, and yeah, they all sort of come with a wheel already attached. So nice to use. Let's now take a look at the sensor. This is what is called an LDR, or light dependent resistor. Now the property of this component is that when light falls on it, it registers a lower resistance across the terminals, and when it's dark, that is no light on the surface, it has a high resistance. So this will act as our sensor. As you know, RoachBot has to run away from light. Now let us take a look at the controller. Usually in a lot of builds you use something like this. This is a microcontroller, a popular one called Arduino Uno, and yeah, this can also be used for our build. But since this is a basics tutorial, let's go with something really basic. A microcontroller typically is made of thousands of transistors. Guess how many we need for our project? Well, we need two of them. So this is BD139 transistor, which has a slightly higher current rating than the ordinary ones. It can drive up to 1.3 ampere. Perfect for our geared motor. So you need two of these. We'll also need a couple of resistors for the circuit which we are going to build. So this is a variable resistor which is used to adjust the sensitivity of our LDRs. Now these are the small ones. You can also use these large ones if you are more familiar with it. So this comes with a nice knob that is easy to manipulate. Now for this one you might need to use a screwdriver. You'll also need some connectors like these jumper wires to do our connections in. And then to make the body, you will need an MDF board like this. Last but not the least, we'll also need a power supply. Now I've gone overkill with this one. So this was a power bank that I had lying around, and it can supply 5 volts at around 2.5 amperes. You can also use a 9-volt battery. So that is it. These are all the components, and let's see how to build this. Let us start the build by making this body. Now a RoachBot uses two motors, two wheels and a caster wheel here, along with an MDF sheet that acts as the body. I've drilled a few holes here and I have attached the motors using clamps. You can also just stick them using hot glue gun. Now this particular body is what is called a differential drive. What it consists of is two coaxial motors with their wheels aligned, one on the left, the other on the right, and the difference in movement of these wheels gives it a direction. So if both wheels are moving in the same direction, forward, this goes forward. If this wheel is moving forward, this is moving backward, then it will turn left. And if this is moving forward and this is moving backward, this will turn right. And if both are moving backward, this will move backward. So this way, using just two motors, by varying their speeds, you can control their direction. Now this also works if one wheel is spinning faster than the other. That is, if this wheel is spinning faster, this will move in the right direction. And if this wheel is moving faster, this will move in the left direction. Now we will use this concept a lot in the future also. So these are called differential drives. You can just look it up if you need more information. Now I've connected the wires to the motor and I've taken them out through these holes and we will connect them to the controller. So yeah, that's it about the body. It's simple to build. Oh, and I've attached this caster wheel by using an attachment here. I've 3D printed it, but you can also use a block of wood here to get it to a good height. Let us now take a look at how to assemble the controller side with the sensor. Now LDRs will act as a sensor, one will act as the left eye, one will act as the right eye. And similarly, one transistor will control one motor. So the circuit is on your screen right now. So what we are using is essentially a voltage divider which turns this transistor on or off depending on the value of the LDR. That is, indirectly depending on the value of the light that is falling on the LDR. It's a simple circuit and is widely used in many applications. Now let's quickly assemble this. And that's it. Our controller is ready and is connected to the sensor as well. Let us now combine everything together. So you have the body here, the controller here. Then you attach the motors as shown in the circuit. And finally, we connect the power supply. Now, since I'm using a power bank here, I have this USB cable. I've cut off the ends and I've attached these jumper cables here. So this allows me to easily connect this to the breadboard. Just plug it in. We'll plug the positive to the positive, negative to the negative. The robot has now started moving, so RoachBot wants to get away from this light, so let's send it away. There you go. And that's it. Hey, so we have built our first rover. It was simple, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Well, do like, share and subscribe this video. It really helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.